Hey guys, this video is going to go on our How to Do Stuff in Japan playlist. What triggered it was I was exchanging some messages with one of our patrons, and he lives in a cooler country that doesn't get really hot weather. He said it's the hottest he gets is like 28, 29 degrees. So we're talking about he's coming to Japan soon. So I was talking to him about summer, and there's a whole heap of things he was unaware of. So that triggered this video because it's really important. It's potentially really dangerous coming to Japan in summer if you're not aware of the dangers of hot weather. So if you live in a country that gets really hot, or you've spent time in countries that get really hot and you understand how it all works, this video is not for you. This video is for people who aren't used to living in hot places, who might be coming to visit here in summer or spend time here in summer, because it's really hot. So the last couple of weeks, the daytime has been like 38, 39, 40 degrees, and night times it's not far off 30 degrees. And the result of that has been, as the same every year, hundreds of people every day go to hospital with heat stroke. And this week in particular, on Wednesday in Tokyo, more than 450 people were taken to hospital with heat stroke just in Tokyo alone, and one of them died. So every year it happens. The media here report it like it's something unusual and not like they're surprised, but it happens every single year. Every single year during the middle of summer when it gets really hot, people get a heat stroke and some people die. It happens every year. So there's two risks that we have from the hot weather. One is the sun itself doing damage to our skin. So if you're not used to this sort of weather, and if you've got skin that is susceptible to sunburn, 30 minutes outside in the sun unprotected is enough to give you a good sunburn. So you have to be really careful. So clothing, cover as much as you can with clothing, and then anything that's exposed, cover with strong sun cream. So the sun creams here are available convenience stores, supermarkets, drugstores, and a strong SPF 50 plus type sunscreen, cover all the skin. If you're going to be in water, you want to get a waterproof one. So it's a real risk. So that's the first risk, is the burn to the skin. The second one is the heat stroke itself. So just from being exposed to the heat, it fries your brain. So heat stroke or dehydration can make people really sick and can kill people. So a few of the things, just before I go on, it's sort of ironic. I made a video recently talking about Japanese people hiding from nature, and as part of that video I did mention hiding from the sun, but there was a little bit more of the exaggerated versions of that. Like, we get people that do it all year round. We've got family members that do it, that they never go outside without covering up all their skin and hiding from the sun, and it's a little bit obsessive. This is more talking about the weather that's dangerous in the middle of summer, when it is really dangerous, and then covering up from the sun is really important. So a few things that we could do. I made a few notes here. Yeah, cool clothes, cover as much skin as you can, and then anything you can't cover, yep, sunscreen, 50 plus sunscreen. Drink lots of water. It's really important. We dehydrate. Even if you sort of stay out of the direct sunlight, just the heat itself, you lose lots of water through perspiration and through breathing and so on. You need to drink liters of water a day. So I have about 10 of these in a box in my car, just water, and just drink all day long. I've got another one next to the computer. I drink all day long. It's really important, because dehydration, you'll start to get symptoms. You could start to get dizzy, you start to get headaches, you get all sorts of things. I'm just realising as I'm saying this, a whole bunch of people who live in warm climates and who are aware of all this will know all this. If that's you, go watch something else, because this isn't for you. This is for people who haven't experienced the warm climates before. So drink lots of water, and immerse yourself in water if you can. So showers, particularly if you're not feeling good, if you're getting a headache or you're not feeling good, drink lots of water and go and have a cool shower. I usually start with a shower with a mixer about halfway, and then progressively make it colder, and often until it's 100% cold, because the water's coming through pipes that are outside where it's 38 degrees, 39, 40 degrees. So quite often straight cold water in the shower is not so cold, you know. So cold showers, cool showers. in the pools, in the rivers, in the ocean to cool you down. Just be careful when you're still when you're in water, so like in a pool or in a river or in the ocean, and you're in the sun. You'll feel cool, but the sun is still getting your skin. So that can be, you got to watch that, because you think you're nice and cool, but in actual fact you could be getting really severe burns. So you still got to cover up and waterproof sunscreen and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, just trying to make sure I remember everything here. Showers. Oh yeah, air conditioning. Phew. If you're going to be staying here any period of time, try to stay places where there's aircon. It makes all the difference. Even if the difference, sometimes I'll walk in here, we've got a thermometer that tells us the temperature outside and the temperature in here. And even if the temperature in this room is just a little bit lower than outside, it's the humidity. Because what you get here is like 39 degrees outside with 65 or 70% humidity, which is really intense. If you haven't experienced that before, the high humidity makes it very hard for the body to cool. And just bringing down the humidity in the room makes you feel 100% better. Because you walk in here and, oh, that's better. And quite often the temperature is only a few degrees difference between inside and outside, but the humidity is very different. So that makes a big difference. 65-70% humidity versus 50% humidity, big difference. So yeah, air conditioners, electric fans, all that sort of stuff, really helpful for helping you keep good. Oh yeah, on that I mentioned video a long time ago, showed you a video of the workmen here often have these big puffy jackets that have electric fans built into them with little batteries, and they blow the jackets up. So I've got this cushion of air between them and the atmosphere, and it helps keep them cool apparently. Just mention that as a by the by. Yeah, all those. Talk about nature. I just want to try and cover all these things because I think they are important. Yeah, people hospitalised, die. Oh, just a cultural thing. During winter, people will say in Japanese, "Don't catch a cold. You know, see you later. Don't catch a cold." Or "Hello, how are you? Have you caught a cold?" And obsessing all through winter about catching a cold. In summer, it's heat stroke. So they'll say to you, "See you later. Don't get heat stroke." It's all in Japanese, all in Japanese, of course. So they'll say it to you, but they'll also write it in emails and things like that too. You know, "See you on Saturday. Don't get heat stroke." So they obsess on it, which is fair enough because it is dangerous. The media always report it like it's a surprise, but it happens every year. So I've got some props for you. Here's a thing that's popular here. They freeze these things in the freezer and then wear it around their neck. I'm not really impressed. Usually it's pretty pleasant for about 5 minutes and it sort of cools you down a little bit, but soon they lose all their coldness and just become just a thing you're wearing around your neck. So I don't get a lot of value from that, but other people do. Quite common, you see them all the time. The towel, I made videos years ago about towel people in Japan. Everybody has a towel. Usually the ladies have a little towel in their bag or in their pocket. The dudes, usually old dudes in particular, wear them around their neck. It's a real thing, and it is actually quite good when it's hot and sweaty. A towel around the neck is quite helpful, quite useful. Young cool dudes probably don't do it, but it is a thing. It's a thing that's comfortable. Another thing that they'll do is they'll wrap it around their head like this, and make sort of a thing out of it. I don't know how much benefit it gives them, but that's one of the things they do. I guess if you've got baldy patches on top of your head like I do, covering the top of your head's probably not a bad idea. The best thing though is the hat. You've got to wear a hat. This is they call these oji-san hats because it's what the old farmer guys wear, what the unskilled labourer wears when he's out here in the garden, and they're just excellent. I mean, it's straw hat, it's just a straw hat. Not cool at all, not fashionable at all, probably won't see it in the city. But for keeping the sun off, absolutely excellent. I've always said I wanted a sombrero. I reckon a sombrero would be the go. But yeah, look, some sort of hat. These things, it's sort of like a scarf, and you wet it first, and as the water evaporates it cools, and this one's actually like a poncho, so you can actually cover your head with it, cover your shoulders with it. You wet it and it evaporates, makes you cool. Obviously getting uncooler by the second. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And with a hat, I'm going to get the whole thing going. This has to be the thumbnail. And then the other thing, when I first came to Japan, and saw dudes with fans doing this, with these kinds of fans. I thought it was odd. It was like, oh, that's pretty odd. But like a lot of things in Japan, when you first see them and think they're odd, and then you find out they're a really good idea. So these things, this is the modern version. The old versions are open up, right? The old traditional Japanese fan, open it up, and but this is like the modern version, and really super effective. So the plastic frame, companies give them away. So this was given to us by a company that sells the little pouches of eggs, fish eggs. That's what the red things are. And they give them away as promotional tools, you know. And so you'll often get given them. And if you're not given one, you can get them from convenience stores and supermarkets and places like that. Incredibly effective. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed because they flex because they're plastic, and they produce a lot of wind, and it really brings down your temperature. I actually have one next to the computer. So really hot days where the aircon's struggling, if I start to feel a bit hot, get one of these and fan myself a bit. It makes all the difference. When we go to festivals, everybody's got one. People walk around festivals fanning themselves with these things. So brilliant idea, brilliant idea. And everybody's doing it, so they're not going to think you're not cool. This at a festival might not be cool. This at a festival would probably be okay. People covering up with things. The Oji-san hat, the kids have got a real thing about this, but some sort of hat, you know, some sort of hat to keep the sun off. In the garden, my Oji-san hat's okay. Not at a festival probably, but something like this, you'll see all sorts of things, you know. It's just being smart. If you're out in the sun at a festival all day, you know, you need to do something. So, and these things, absolutely brilliant. So this has got to be the thumbnail, hasn't it? There it is there. That's the thumbnail, isn't it? So look, I hope our Patreon friend, I hope that helps you. We exchanged a few emails, but a few messages, but it was hard to explain all that in messages, so it's much better to explain it on a video. My thinking was too that I hadn't thought about this before, that there'd be a lot of people who visit Japan who come from countries that aren't so hot, so might not have experienced such hot weather before, and it's extremely dangerous. So it's good to be aware of it, and it's good to know a few things that can help make you safer. A lot of places that are popular for people to visit. So Hokkaido, usually not so hot, and Aomori up in the north, not so hot, but sometimes, and the rest of Japan, yeah, anywhere, central Japan, Honshu, and of course down south it gets hotter. You can experience dangerous heat. Kyoto, which is one of the most popular places for tourists because it's got so many amazing places to visit, is extremely hot in summer because they have they're surrounded by mountains in Kyoto, so mountains all around, and just the center of it just gets really hot. So if you visit Kyoto, it'll be hot. So yeah, look, drink water, cover up, stay in cool places as much as possible, under trees and in air-conditioned rooms, and just be aware of it. Quite often public buildings will actually have signs outside saying help heat shelter, and so in other words it's allowing people just to walk into the government buildings and sit down and cool down in the air conditioning. So, you know, most important thing is remember it is really dangerous. It is dangerous. The burns you can get on your skin can be severe. And the heat stroke and the dehydration and everything can be life-threatening. You can die. So it's worth being aware of it. And if you do all the things I just mentioned, you know, you'll be okay. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps our buddy on Patreon, and hope someone else got some benefit from it as well. More videos coming soon.